Ready to be outdriven. I'm working my way to the top to doing this shit for a living. If you want that money, be double out. And if you want that trophy, take double out. And if you want to be a winner, be double out. And if you want to be a champ, take double out. Be double out. Take double out. Be double out.
What's up, everybody? We are back at the BE00TAKE00 show. I don't know if that's fittingly named this week, but we'll talk about it. I am PJ North, back with the one and only young Tebow. Tyler Bohannon, what's good, baby?
Oh, you know, the BE00TAKE00 thing does work because I was 1-take-4 on Anthony.
Hello. We're going to get all into it. I can't wait to talk about it. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up. Obviously, we were off last week racing. But for those who are joining us live in the chat, let us know that you're here. Shout out to Walt. Shout out to Thurston, who's here. We're going to talk about Walt, too, when we talk about a little Belrose. He said something funny to me. But if you're watching live on YouTube, man, hit that like and subscribe button. That helps us out. We're getting close to 300 subscribers. We'd love to hit 1,000 by, week, I don't know, 10, 15, something like that. I feel like there's a lot of racers who acting like they don't know.
Make me feel better about myself. Hey, and I don't even look at it, okay? So if you, don't want me to feel like you're paying attention to me, don't worry. I won't see it. Only PJ will.
That's right. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, don't forget to leave us a review. You can comment if you're listening on Spotify. That's a new thing. I just learned about this recently. I've never interacted with those, but the video is live, or the video is also on Spotify. iTunes listeners, thank you for listening in if you're listening on the road. But yeah, leave us a review. Let your friends know, and then obviously tag us, share it. Let us know that you're watching. Share with your friends. You can tag me at the PJ North and Young Tebow at Tyler3678. Man, well.
They don't even know that he's not the primary topic. I misworded that. Now I am going to talk shit, okay, to him.
Yeah, let's just get we're at a good. Everybody's here. They're wide open. Let's just get into it, man. Belrose. We're going to talk about all the good stuff that happened.
I'm going to be childish today, so I got my Capri Sun with me.
That's on brand. I did have a Diet Mountain Dew, but it's gone. Let's just get into it, man. If you guys do watch, I have a racing YouTube. I'd love for y'all to check it out at it's at PJ North Racing. I got a brand new video, talks all about it.
I watched it in the shower yesterday.
Man, shower beers and shower YouTube. You love to see it. I may be the worst race car driver of all time, potentially. If there's a top 5, I'm 1 through 5 right now. Belrose was tough, man. I couldn't throw a dart and hit water if I was in a fucking boat. It was bad, man. I don't know. It was tough.
So my thing on that is I've always considered you you've always been a slower car in stock and super stock since I've known you.
Sure.
Other than the Sunfire.
Yeah,
but you were always good at least making, I feel like in super stock or stock, when you gap, when you got a 2-second, 3-second gap in the car, it opens up the race. Okay. I don't think you're ever going to see, it's very rare that you're going to see races with 2 and 3 second spots come down to less than 15 thou.
Sure, right. Just the spread is too much. 1,000%. Yeah.
Everybody's changing their game.
I'm trying to get it to 2 or less more. I mean, that's really where I'm trying to get it to, for sure.
But this weekend, you pissed me off because
I'll be honest with you, man. I was as lost as I've ever. Look. Let's go over the good first, right? Let's talk about the good first. I hit the tree good.
One class. Time out. You were the fastest car in super stock in automatic.
Yeah. Look at this. Can you believe they get? Look,
hey.
I can't even believe. Can you believe that? Look, you know what? Walt,
what happened bad? Okay, we've been trying this shit for 15 years, and we won class.
Walt said to me. Walt was like, "Man, I ain't got no reason beating people. I shouldn't be up here. This guy's going like 70 under, brother." I'm not even hitting my average yet. They're not even. I'm so slow. They're not even counting me, dog. So I don't want to hear it, Walt, talking about I'm too slow. Get the out of here. I don't want to hear that shit, man. I'm not even counting towards an average, but. Yeah, man, my guy made a mistake. He put his super stocker motor in his stocker. He's like, yeah, the fast motor's in the other car. I was like, wrong idea, brother. Because here we go. And I will say, if you haven't watched the video, check it out. It is very interesting. My guy rolls up to the lanes. Mind you, he's seen me on the sheet all weekend long. He knows, right? Shout out to the Doty brothers. They had like 3 cars there. Super great guys.
Cool as shit too. They had
awesome.
a dually with a
wedge truck, right? 2-car wedge.
Yep. Yeah, a 2-car wedge, and it had 2 Chevelles on it, a wagon and a Cooper, whatever.
And then they had a Camaro too.
Yeah, they had a Camaro and an enclosed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
they're cool as shit. They're just good dudes. I've met them a couple times.
Super awesome guys. They were talking all about it, and we just chatted right there in the 350 combination. I'm into it. So either way, he's got a Chevelle wagon. So we're talking. Well, he rolls up. He knows what he's seen me run. I've been a couple hundredths in front of him. That's it. Like all day. So I'm assuming they roll up. They got the ice on it. I'm like, oh, he's about to whoop he's fixing to go like 40 under. They done sped this thing up. And nah, dog. I let go and I was like, holy. The first thing I did when I got back to the trailer was. First off, I should say this. I was disheveled at the fit. I come off the turnoff, right? I'm going through scales. I'm like, I got to go through winner's circle. I've never been in this situation. Most of the time, I get my ticket, all my shit back to the trailer, dog, okay? So I was all over the place. Flooded my car. It wouldn't start. So I'm like, oh, shit.
And everything.
Dude, I'm lost. I'm completely lost. They don't even hand me a contingency sheet. That guy's as surprised to see me win as I was, okay? He had no idea. And then I flood the car. It won't start. So I'm like, damn, I done busted another rotor. I'm like, finally I get it to start, and I was like, oh my god, thank god, because I'll push it in the winner's circle at this point. I'm yoked, dog. I can't even believe this. Anyways, long story short, that was the highlight of the weekend. Look, like I said, I let go good all weekend. I made one bad light, but otherwise I let go. I was comfortable with that. But man, it got progressively worse after that.
I felt like, and this where I was heading with that, I guess, is It takes
looked
a long
like I was
time.
running class. It looked like I was running class in both runs, just to throw it out there. Okay, that's how bad it was.
It takes longer to see the race, right? When you're going 1170s.
Sure.
But I always felt like you figured the race out earlier, and it just seemed like you didn't pick the race up until 1,280 feet, or at all. When I watched your YouTube is when I realized the second race, it's like you'd never picked the race up.
Dude, so I tell you this. I had a conversation with Jerry and Terry and the brothers. We were kind of chatting over at the trailer after I lost to Fazalor, right? So I took 60-something the first race. Like, it was already been bad, okay? Mm-hmm. It's already been bad. So I'm over there talking, and he's like, man, you're very similar to me. He's like, but I told him, I was like, the mistake I make is if I miss the tree, I'm like immediately out of the race. Yeah. I'm like mentally not there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is who you need. You want teachers on what you're doing? I got 2 of them right
I know. Travis should have. Somebody should have waited. So I'll get to that. So I'm going to tell you what happened. So I talked to the Emmons brothers, and we're chatting. He's like, you've got to remember that the race is still, as long as you're green, the race is still happening, regardless of what you did. And I said, that's a great way to put it. So when I race Fazalor, obviously I'm in the left lane. I got a giant window. I can see everything. I'm looking for him. I'm like, he ain't getting here. Wop, wop, wop. Ooh, shut it down. No dice. Pick up 6 for no reason. Everybody else, every car in the facility slowed down.
Yeah. I told you what I thought you were going, and then you lit it up exactly what I thought you could go, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, not good. Not good. So that either way, bad. So I know that going into it. I'm like, okay, fine. So then next day, I make 2 good runs again. I'm like, sick, and I win class. Excellent. Next morning, the weather could not have been worse. I mean, it was like we were in Arizona in the middle of the summer, and then Florida hopped on top of it. The corrected factor was crazy. If 62 cars went down the racetrack during first round, 61 of them slowed down. The other one is myself, and I did not. Now, regardless of the car did throw me a curveball. That's on me. However, it gets worse. I let go, and I'm like, my first thought is to the Emmons, hey man, you're not out of this thing. Now, mind you, I let go decent, but I thought I was like 30
again. You got plenty of time to think about this. That's the problem.
So I'm like, oh man, I was 30 again. But I immediately was like, okay, well, instead of looking at the rear view to see where he is or has he even left the starting line yet, I never checked, dog. I'm looking out of my window the whole time expecting him to show up.
Show up, yeah.
He don't never show up, dog. And I got on the binders so late. It was so Zach Mazier texted me after I posted the video and said, "Did he ever even come into the frame?" I was like, "Yeah, at the fucking turnoff." When he finally
Dude, I did. That's the funny. You shut your shit off, and it's like, hold on, let me get this in the view. All right, so this is PJ, right? And then he crosses the finish line and shuts his sit down, and then here comes his opponent.
So bad, dude. I am 19, take 190. Look, dog, everything I've ever said bad about someone on the microphone, the announcer was so flabbergasted, he didn't even say anything negative about me. I was like, bro, I'd have been lighting this poor guy. I would have lit me up. Left and right. I'd have never let me live it down. I'd have been calling it in the Discord like, hey, someone get PJ. He's still driving. He's in the sand trap. Yeah. Someone go get this dude. He ain't left it yet.
They made up for it when I won the final. Like, if somebody wins a final, I'm usually not going to give them too much shit because they just won the race. Dog, I love Brian Loans, but he got me good.
In stock?
He got me good. No, in super stock in the final. Oh, yeah. After the final, he was like, he made it known I was 083. And I was like, damn, dog. I mean, it deserves.
What's the first thing I told you? Hey, they don't ask you how you got the check when you take it to the bank, baby.
I let go and I said, oh, thank God she's good.
Thank God. So all this to say, like I said, this was karma for whatever I said about no time. We ran into TJ Pruitt. He showed up and he's giving me a hard time about no time. Everything I've said on the podcast, I got paid back for this weekend. Okay. And I apologize for whatever I have done wrong to anyone. I apologize. Cause if I ever drive like that again, honestly, dude, I may put it in sideways into safety safari truck if I ever do that again.
Yeah.
Real talk. That was as bad. Look, so we're going to go into a segment later on, talk about our crushing losses and things that have impacted us as racers as we go on. But that was one, man, I've never been more embarrassed. Casey will tell you, I was distraught. And I don't normally get mad. Like, I don't get mad after the race is over. Like, after my helmet's off, it's over with. I'm not going to hold a grudge. It is what it is with racing, right? Like, my dad taught me that a long time ago. I was shaking hands when people beat me. That's how it always has been for me. So for me, it's like, all right. So I went over and told Jeff, and he's like, I don't know what happened, but I was like, dog, if I knew, I wish you would have thrown the siren up, someone waved their hand, do some get in front of me or something. I don't know, dude. But like I said, that's it was embarrassing. I don't know if I'll ever live it down. I've been racing 26 years. I don't think you could have added all my losses last year in Superstock, the margin of victory, and not added up to 190. Like, I'm going to be real. Just so bad. Just ugh.
I've had plenty of embarrassing losses. I took a 10th next to DeFrank at Indy one year, sideways, crossed up, still under. Yeah, I mean, I've done it, and it's just tough, especially the way you're doing it. But I texted you about it yesterday, like what you're holding. Maybe if you just
if I just automatically assume
every time,
if I just know, right,
then you can kill it earlier and start seeing the race earlier. Maybe, I guess, if that makes sense.
That's really what happened. Is like I was waiting for the race to develop. And Emmons put it in a perfect. Again, I was over there with Jeff, and he's parked with those guys, and he's like, "Yeah, you're waiting for the race to develop," and I was like, "I'm just expecting to see him at some point so I can make a move."
Right.
And then I'm like, my theory was like, oh, maybe he's so far back because he's going to be a lot faster. And I never put in two and two together. Like, I race a 790 Copo like normally. Right. So what am I doing? This guy should be here already. And just, yeah, man, super, super embarrassing. Tough break down there in Belrose. But from my side, we had a great time. I did enjoy it. And now let's get into the good stuff, right? Let's talk about it. Tebow went in there. He was, and Tebow was struggling he was having a hard time with the Camaro. He was over it. He didn't even race it at Gainesville. He was over it, right? The Camaro.
Yeah, it's bad. I told him I was going to burn it, and my uncle called me the second day of the Gators and said, do I need to call and get insurance because you're going to burn this fucking piece of shit to the ground? And I said, yes. I said, you can't insure it because I've already told everybody, including the Larice agents that are here, that I'm going to burn this piece of shit to the ground. But
Ross is like, I don't think we can cut that check, sir.
Right? So we get to Belrose. Mind you, at the Baby Gators, it didn't race because it still wasn't running.
Right. It wouldn't run. Right. They had a few. I mean, we've done change EFI, ECUs, all the bullshit's over. Yeah.
And I told him, I said, load it up, please.
Yeah.
Strap it down. I'm going home.
Yeah. He told me he was over it.
Yeah. Josh won't let me do it. We're going to Belrose, whatever. I get there on Tuesday. I make a couple of good runs. Like, average runs.
Pretty good.
not
We
great
felt
runs.
my whole thing for you where you were like, it feels like it's getting worse. It's not getting better. But Josh Decker, that never stops.
Yeah, no, he didn't quit. And so I don't remember the divisional. Like I was there because him or LaBouse were going to win, right? And I'm a team player. I'm there.
Sure.
Let's go. The third round of the divisional, they gave me Jerry Emmons.
Yep.
And he's 005 red and 400s under. I'm 35 on the tree and beat him to the finish line. And for some reason, that just flipped the switch for me. I still got a pile of shit. Okay. I'm gonna say it. Pure talent. Okay. Car garbage.
It was hot garbage for all those watching at home. It was bad.
Yeah. When I finally trusted it, it slows down 200s. Like I'm over.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So I decided I'm gonna hold a minute, and when I passed him after he was red and I was 40, I'm like, oh, they can't hold more than me. I just passed Jerry Emmons when he was red. Like I'm in control of every run. And it changed for me at that point. I chipped up. I've been 30, 40, 30, 40. I chipped up the next round. I ran Ronnie Dutton. And this, I don't know if any of y'all know Ronnie, but I've ran Ronnie 3 times in my life and never won.
He's in the Opal. He's in an Opal, right?
Monza.
Monza. Yep. Sorry, Monza.
Yeah. I was 8 dead 3 next to him and lost. I was 20 and couldn't win. The other one was something stupid. So I chip up and I said, I'm laying down a lap. And not that I can, because I don't know what I can go.
Right.
It's made one run A to B without missing. I pull 5 pounds and dial down 100th like I'm good enough to go dead on. It picks up 600ths. Okay. Literally 6 fucking hundreds. I'm 11 and I take like 30 to be dead on. I'm 15 total on paper, but I thought I was going like high dead on and I'm going 6 under. Yep. Whole deal. And then I lost at 5 or whatever, but I just going into the national, I still had no faith. I mean,
we got to talk about that. Think about this though, right? So he shows up, the car does not run. I'm telling you, guys don't understand. It is not good from A to B. It's missing fuel injection. They're all over the place. And Decker's making an effort, but you only get so many runs.
I got no 2-step.
So bad. And he puts it to 5 cars at the divisional. Yeah. Okay, now go ahead.
We get through that. Well, LaBouse wins the divisional. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Boost, by the way. Again, just
nobody. It's insane what he's able to do 90 racing, honestly, which is the whole reason I called him to begin with. You know, I needed some help with my car. And listen, I love the people that nobody believes in. Yeah. All right. I just do. I'm an underdog guy all day.
He loves that 100 to 1 horse.
Right. I do. Listen, when I gamble, I want odds. Okay. Give me the, long shots. And I know he's capable of doing it. I know I got a car that is capable of doing it. And, he did. And I think he's got a lot more left in him. We're 3 races in, so this matters none. But I did look at the points today just to see how everybody did, like through Phoenix and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm leading the world, and LaBouse is. So.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, and Josh is second. So all y'all can kiss it. It's March, but.
Hey, you know what? It's March Madness. That's what makes this so great. That's part of it. Look, we're going to get into the national win. Like he said, Boost winning, huge. Obviously, just continued. I mean, he made a lot of great runs, but he beat a lot of good people. He had a tough go of it. His ladder was pretty deep on his side. And then Decker. Obviously, Decker didn't have a stellar weekend overall, but I know this guy's over here giving me a hard time about working on my shit. He's like, you don't want to work. And I was like, I just don't want to work like you, dog. Like,
no, I don't either.
This guy has changed the transmission. He ends up getting a heads up that he cannot win, right?
We had 5 flat tires. 5 flat tires. Not 1. Not 2. 5 flats.
It's tough. And so Josh just never stops working. So we got to give a shout out to Decker because I think he worked on a lot of people's stuff. At one point, I thought him and Sam Porchard was going to get into it, though. He was yelling because Sam's not listening, and Decker's like yelling at him, like, I'm telling you this is what it is. I was like, I don't know what's transpiring here. But it's a lot
I just walked off.
It's a lot going on. But he got the Camaro together. But he obviously the Corvette, he turned it red, I think, first round, and he just didn't have great luck with the Corvette. But he worked his ass off on it.
Yes. And his problem, that the reason he lost the national is the place was a little loose, I think.
Sure.
And I know the way I am, foot braking, like if I can't get to it, when I do stab it, it's coming up 20 red.
Oh, yeah.
And he was 20 red in the national, and I think he just never could get himself close enough to be comfortable.
Sure.
Yeah. Wow. And so he fought that. And then the Corvette, I don't know. It was doing everything it was supposed to do. The orange car,
Yeah.
Chris's car.
Yeah, you couldn't catch a break in stock, dog.
Well, that was why I ran it. It was like, if I'm gonna win something, it's gonna be in this car.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm gonna do anything before I go back to work, I'm gonna win in this car.
Sure.
And I came up 00 red twice, pissed me off. And then super stock. I don't know. I just made myself pretty aggressive on the tree. And
I don't
knew
think
could
we
go.
talk enough about the super stock win though. Like the numbers that you were putting, honestly. So I think you guys put it back to an original setup EFI. You were like, all right, let's put this fuel range back to first
the best run that I had that week.
And then next thing you know, this Sunday, so the big thing I don't think a lot of people know, obviously if you're not watching the race, the weather swing went from, my corrected factor when I lost was 1.063.
Oh, you did pay attention to the weather on Sunday.
Well, for the first run, right? So first round or second round was that no first round? Yeah, second round on Sunday. Was it like
21 hundredths?
Yeah.
It was one flat one.
Yeah,
and by
one
the time
flat
we ran,
one.
It was like one. I think it ended up being like 1 flat 9 when we ran, and then it stayed at like 101.1, 101.2 all day. It was 21 hundredths faster.
Think about that, a 21 hundredths swing. My guy went from
that ain't just me.
Yeah, it's everyone. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a crazy thing on Sunday. So to then put numbers together, would you have one red light all weekend long? Just the final, right? She went in the national, just the
in the national, I had just that red light.
Yeah. So you were putting together numbers, crushing the tree.
They were good runs. Like first round, I looked at the ladder. This is I was pissed.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that I don't feel like I can beat anybody, but I do feel like I have to have a good race car.
Sure.
And I didn't. And they give me Atkinson first. I'm looking at the ladder.
Yeah, he had a tough
see,
sledding. Yeah, I get
right.
it.
And you're like, okay, they're gonna give me, Speedy second round, Bertozzi third round. I ain't getting through this. No, this piece of shit. No chance. And Atkinson, I'm 30, and he missed it. He was 60. He stops. I stop. I win. And then
that was a battle to see who was going to get there first. Tyler did not want to get there first, but he was playing.
I got there a lot. Yeah,
but you still did. You did what you needed to do.
I ran him a bunch, you know. And Atkinson, something that these people these days don't know is he is really good at holding the wheat field.
Yeah,
because he did it for a long time, and I think he's really good at it. He's gotten away from it because he's got really good stuff.
Yeah,
but then when we wake up Sunday morning and it's 21 hundredths faster, they give me Speedy Emmons
in B stock modified.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
so he was stock or whatever.
No, Terry was driving that car. He was in the other.
Oh,
GTE
he was
car.
in the GTE car. Okay, got it.
But I texted my dad and I said, "Hey, I'm just letting you know that I'm crashing this one too."
You did text us that.
I said I'm crashing this car because I'm not getting dropped on my head by these Emmons, and I promise I can go further under than he can.
Yeah.
And I let go of the button, and it's 00, and I knew it. And it goes. I tighten the front end up because it's 2100 faster. Well, not enough. It goes up so hard it turns left.
Brian says that too. He's like, "Oh, it goes to the left," and he brings it back to the groove.
Emmons is 12 take 2, no good.
Hello.
Yeah, and then Anthony, I don't
think Anthony Bertozzi ended up winning Top Dragster. So that's just to put it in perspective. Anthony Bertozzi, obviously one of the winningest drivers in IHRA history. He's unbelievable, right? The guy wins in everything. He's also so good in super stock. It's maybe one of the most underrated guys because he's in BS, right, or CS or some shit, right, or AS, right? Just like outrageously fast.
870 car. And the one thing that I had, I had two things. One, I had LeBoos.
Yeah.
Okay. LeBoos raced with Anthony for 10 years. So
gotta have that help, baby.
I know the weaknesses. I've raced Anthony a few times. I ran him the last time I won a national event in super stock. I ran Anthony third round.
That's your lucky horseshoe right there, baby.
We have a mutual friend, right? Really good friend, supports us in everything we do, right, Brian?
Yeah.
He's calling me right now during a podcast. So, does he pay any attention to what we do?
He's not paying attention to us today.
God, he pisses me off.
Anyways, today.
So I felt like I knew I was going to be able to judge him. I'm going 890s at this point, and I'm just going to daylight him.
Yeah.
I was 003. They said, LeBoos was like, "You're going to chip down 100?" I said, "No."
Let it eat, baby.
Yeah. Josh said, "You're an idiot." I said, "Fine, chip it down 100. I'm 1." Good call, boys. Good call. And I did. I daylighted him, and I felt like if I daylighted him and I showed it to him early that he would stop.
And he did.
Yeah, I'm driving everything at this point. I don't know what my car can go. I mean, I know what I can go, but I'm also I'm just getting there first and hope. I'm going to just race everybody says race your own race. That's not what I did. I raced every opponent that I had differently.
Yeah.
That's
a good way to do it sometimes. I think you have to like approach it a little differently.
And this might come off the wrong way, but I've always been very good about not having a starting line routine.
Sure.
And if I know somebody has a routine on the starting line, I'm gonna get all up in that shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like at 4 cars, somebody said, Brandon Bakes likes to take his time on the starting line. Not a problem, homie. He gonna do everything first.
And I was waiting for Tebow to shut the car off.
Yeah, and then it's funny because like the next round, I run Brittany in the final.
Yeah,
and this is just females as a whole to me, right?
Sure.
Megan's the way. I know me and Madison ran in a final one time in the same way.
Yeah,
I did everything first.
Yeah,
rush them, right? Think that they
sure.
And she comes up red. I'm not saying that had anything to do with it or what, but
something.
I do. Bakey's was like 13, 12, 1 and 4 before we run. He's 30.
Yeah, so I did see that.
Yeah,
I did see that.
Like, especially when you got a bad race car like I did. Like if I got a good race car and I'm driving good, I don't give a shit if they put somebody in the middle. Like,
yeah.
But I'm finding any weakness that I can at this point to play into it. And I think it worked.
I will say, I will share this with the group. This thing is, after beating, I think basically after beating Bertozzi, we said the rest of the field's racing for second.
Yeah, and then they give me Don Barber.
Yeah, Barber makes great. Barber's 29. You finished 9th in the division last year. And
he's a car that's dialed with me.
Yeah,
right? Our cars are basically running the same.
Yeah, what's he, an E?
He's an E. He's just
going so fast.
890 still. Oh yeah, he was dialed 105 under.
Yeah, he's in one of those blow Dodge combos though, right?
Yes, that's that car that my dad drove for Irvin, that Achiever, or Avenger, or whatever.
Yeah, the
that's
Avenger.
That car.
Nice. Yeah, I remember that car.
I think my dad might have painted that, or he did some stuff with it. But yeah. But they just put cars like Bakey's is 940.
Yeah.
Don Barber's 890.
Yeah.
She's 950. It was all cars in my wheelhouse. If they threw me, hey Brian, nice to see you. Good to see you now.
Too, Brian.
Sorry I couldn't answer your phone call. I got a little engagement going on here.
He'll call you back.
Yeah, but it's just I think that there's a time and place to where you race your opponent.
Yeah, I get it.
And I just picked everything apart about him I could. I still, like, you can look through my logbook. I never really knew what I was going, but I knew I could go 5+ under. And I knew what they could do. And I just raced it that way. It works sometimes, and other times it don't.
Yeah, I think you left second, or you left first once, right? And that was against Bertozzi, right? He's down 870.
Technically, I did against Barber, but it was 100th, yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100. Well, you left before him, though.
Yeah,
so
I did.
that's the only reason you left first. I think, yeah, man, like I said, when you look at it, like I said, they're going to hang old boy's jersey in the rafters at the Sport Nats, man. Tyler, the
Sport Nats have been good to me. I won the first year that they gave Copper Wallies out. I won it, and I have 5 nationals total, and 3 of them are sports, and 1 in each class. Actually, I do think that's pretty cool that I won the same race at 3 different tracks in 3 different classes.
Man, it's been it's very impressive. That's what I think is, and I think if you look at this, obviously me and Tyler are homies, so it's like I'm obviously going to support him and be on his back the whole time. But I'm watching as I'm driving home with my tail between my legs. But like my thing is, I'm a team player, right? So I'm going to support the squad regardless. Like I'm always want him to win, and I think that's the cool thing is that no matter what, they had a showing over there. And one thing we didn't mention. Not only were we a team, but we was parked so far away from the racetrack, we had to watch the live stream to know when they called us to the lanes.
The radio station didn't work. It was a country station in the county we were in, dog.
We were so far away from the lanes.
They played country music on the radio station.
I posted a time-lapse video in my YouTube video, and it was like I had to speed it up to like 400% of the time-lapse because the time-lapse is 2.5 minutes. If anybody knows anything about video, it's like 15 seconds to a second of time-lapse. You're talking about a 10-minute drive from my trailer to the staging lanes, dog. Outrageous. It was a wild weekend at Belrose. One other thing to note is I thought the racetrack was cool. I really enjoyed that. I got to go there kind of in the middle of nowhere. I didn't run my truck out of gas, so that's a win. And I got to stop it. I got to stop it. Did you?
I had to go to no shit, dude. I couldn't afford diesel on Saturday night. And so I was like, well, I'm either going to sell something tomorrow or we're going to find a way.
Sure.
And I did. But I shout out to Palmville.
Oh,
he
Ross?
lives right by the track.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough diesel to make it to the first gas station. So Palmville said, "Stop by my house and put some
Yeah,
diesel in
because
your
he's
truck."
right there.
Yeah, he
Man.
gave me a quarter tank. Wouldn't let me pay him, and I got home.
Shout out to all the people that were down there too that we get to see, because we honestly, for me, like I've never raced in D4 that I can remember. This is probably my first D4 race that I got to go to and actually race. I've been to Texas, obviously. I've been to the Motorplex and stuff, but I thought it was really cool. Shout out to Larice for the dinner. That was cool. That was a lot of fun.
They are one of the best things
dude.
about sportsman racing right now is, like that's the shit that we miss. That's what we do in bracket racing that NHRA, does not NHRA. It's not their fault, but just that racing is kind of lost.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's another reason that I brought LaBoose along. Okay. My mindset when I go NHRA racing, I am an ill person to be around.
For you, brother, you are not lying.
Like I'm an ill person.
He's been great now. Yeah. He's been a different person.
And I kind of like one of the things I brought LaBoose with me for was I knew he'd make me have fun again.
Sure.
We were out till 5:30 in the morning one night. Okay. I haven't done that since I was a teenager in HRA racing. And, he got me to have fun again. I had a shit race car. I didn't care. I was having fun. And, we did good. So there is a part of that.
There's something
that
to be said.
sense.
Something to be said about that. I think, like I said, man, all in all, the Belrose, just the experience was really great. Sorry, I'm looking away here so I can pull up the winners. The one thing, obviously, a couple things are true. Death, taxes, and Cooter going to win it, no problem.
Anywhere, yeah.
But I would like to say that, Brian, we found our guy to fix the Aspen. Ron Browning, okay? My guy had a Mopar painted Volare. He was in L stock going like 90, I think he was 85 under. Pretty stout. So call my guy Ron. Not to mention, he also won a lot of rounds.
He won the race.
Yeah, he won the first race. So, but shout out to all the winners, man. Dean
and Bruce Castle.
Yes.
I'm out.
Yeah, Bruce Castle having a year, dog. Bruce Castle having a year. I felt bad in the final. I was like, man, he's gonna. I told Casey, I was like, he's gonna turn it red. He's running Cooter. He thinks he has to be. He's been better than Cooter had been all day. And you could tell a little, that's not like a Bruce Castle. I mean, I don't know Bruce that well or anything, but I don't know if he gets like anxious or whatever. But like, I was like, man, I just feel like he's going to turn it red. Sure enough, he lit it up like 30 some red. And I'm like, damn, because he was just like 11, 18, 5. Like he was making a lot of good laps.
He was. And I don't know. I've ran Bruce before. It's not like he sucks. He's good.
Right.
And I don't think, he's lost some good races here and there, but it seems like everything's kind of fallen.
Travis, that's a great. That was the one negative. There was some timing system issues, which we gonna get into the NHRA thing here. We are getting ready to get right into the.
I'll leave it at this. The last thing I'll say about Belrose is my dad's comment, and your racing. There's the way that I was racing this weekend. Everybody had to be where they're supposed to be.
Sure,
that's what I was judging off of.
Sure.
And the way that you race, everybody's got to be where they're supposed to be because you've got to rely on that being that they're so far away. When I've lost more races because they weren't where they're supposed to be than I have from a mistake. I made mistake. Like every one of them was a mistake I made, but more often than not, they're just not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that's hard.
Like I said, there was a lot of bad races. I've talked about that. I mean, I talked about this at Arizona watching Super Gas, and that must have been what got me. Just karma was like, hey, let's knock you down a peg, bitch. And I was like, all right, fair enough, got me. So we're going back to the drawing board. We're going to figure that out. But shout out to the winners at Belrose before we get into the one last thing.
Yeah, Chris Dodd over Austin Williams, fucking titanic super comp matchup right there.
That was a good one. Yeah. Jimmy Hidalgo, obviously, like I said, won. Vince Hoda, Bertozzi, Christopher Dodd. How about Jeff Jensen, though? My guy getting it done in Super Gas. Shout out to Jeff Jensen, Clarksville's own. Was cool to see him win. Bruce Bernston, I think that was it says here it's his first divisional or national win, so he won Super Street. And Kane Kern, shout out to my guy Kane. He's a Verge racer with us, man. Kane was on one. He told me he's like, yeah, man, my dad said I was going to miss a time run, so I had to drive fast from school. I was like, yeah, I bet that was the reason you were driving 90 in a 25, kid. Shout out to him. Who else won? Johnny LaBouse, obviously. Michael Chitty, Ron Browning, Kyle Ratcliffe, and Dean Carter. Pretty cool, man. Like I said, overall, that part I enjoyed. Now, we're going to talk about this one last thing. The divisional, look, this guy, if he's watching, shout out to him, but they decided to give a third qualifier. right? Just out of the blue, like it's not listed on the schedule. I didn't have the Discord, so the Discord link, so I didn't even know that was a
Not
thing.
much was getting posted in it anyways.
So I had no idea. But they decided to give us a third time run. So me and Casey are like, I'm like, do I really need a third time run? Like, damn, I was just 17-1. I feel pretty good. Like I'm ready.
But once they do that,
they're pot committed.
Well, and you feel like, what if, if I miss this time run and something dumb happens,
Sure.
tomorrow, right? Like I'm that guy that makes the time runs if they
1,000%.
offer them.
Sure.
Because I'm going to look like an idiot if I don't, and it breaks the starter in the lanes first round or,
Agree. 100%.
whatever. So you feel kind of
obligated. You almost obligated you personally.
Right.
Yeah.
So to finish where PJ was going, they offer this third time, or they give the third time run, right? Everybody going to get a third run. We got all this time. We're going to give a third time run. Well, they give everybody a third time run except for Superstock because they push us back.
Which was so
You're done for the day.
random. They
they make this decision at 3:00 that they're going to have a third time run. At 8:05 is when they told us we were done for the night.
And then they cycled the classes. They didn't. We would have gotten it because it was.
They went behind, which that was fine because honestly that was a good call. You got to get comp through there, get top direction on the track.
Exactly.
It's getting dark.
Yeah.
Get them out. And the place is dark. Okay.
It's not just dark, dog. It is pitch black. There ain't a light shining in that facility off the racetrack.
Did you see the semi come in with all? They ended up like the day of the divisional that they knew they were going to run.
Oh yes, they brought in
tractor trailers and generator lights were coming. So that was cool.
I saw that.
Do appreciate that.
Yeah,
and I will say before I get into my rant on this, the new Division 4 director, first division director I've ever seen walk through the lanes and thank people for being there.
Hey, look, man, I said this is his first race, right?
Yes.
And so this is what we're getting into. They cancel Superstock's time run as we're in the lanes. There's also like 3 or 4 top dragsters or maybe 8 top dragsters that hadn't gone yet or comp. There was something in the lanes else other than us. I'm the first pair out in Superstock. And I'm like, because I didn't know. I just heard through the live feed that they called us. So I have to, it's a 10-minute drive. So I'm like, well, I better get there just in case people are already up there. Anyway, so I'm first car in the line. They decide to cancel it. I'm like, man, that's super odd. Now, I wasn't like upset. Obviously, for me, like I said, I was just like, all right, I just used a gallon of gas driving up here and back. It is what it is. And so I turned around and went back, man. And I get online and I'm reading through it. And this guy is fired up. He ain't
getting plenty of it. By the way, Brian Whitworth's the only guy that retracts a comment on fucking YouTube chat. Jesus Christ, dog. You should have known that this is the mood I was coming into this with, and you don't need to be the one to give me.
That's a sidebar. We're going to talk about TB promotion shortly. Anyways, so they go on. So they cancel this run. They cancel the run, which is whatever, man. And this guy is fired up online. They're like, hey,
he's made 2 bad runs.
They posted a thing and said, hey, we apologize. That's on us. And mind you, this division director, it's his first one. Super great guy. Used to race Top Alcohol, all this stuff. He's owned a bunch of businesses now. He's like, I'm going to work for NHRA. Sick. Super great guy. I was like, cool, man, whatever. So this guy comments. He's like, yo, fuck you guys. We're always getting the short end of the stick. I mean, he is railing one off on it. And the guy's like,
he's
hey,
basically
man.
He's the epitome of a class racer, just letting it all out at one time.
He is Charlie Downing on Facebook. If Charlie was there, that's what Charlie would have done. Shout out to Charlie Downing. But this guy's fired up. So the division director says straight up to him, hey, man, let's have this conversation in person. Look, I'm going to be honest with you.
Cool as shit. When would they ever even respond?
No one
Dude's the real deal. I like him.
I was like, hey, that right there, I was like, I would run D4, sign up for this guy. He gets it, right? He's going to have a conversation. So anyway, so the next day in the Discord, they called a guy to the tower.
Okay, somebody asked me if this happened, and I didn't know for sure.
Yes, they called him to the tower, and the guys like, they offered him his money back supposedly. Now again, this is secondhand information, so I'm just telling you the story because it's also the myth is way better this way. But supposedly he's like, hey man, here's your division money back, here's your national event money back, because he put on there, hey, I'll go racing at Gulfport. There's big money. All this. He's railing one off.
While you're here, I'll go home.
And he's like, here you go. You can have your money back, and thank you for coming. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Nah, change the tune. That guy was there all weekend.
Second season. I did. Also, that was the second season.
Oh, it's the second season.
Like the first time that I'd seen him, and
sure,
awesome dude. But my complaint on the NHRA side is, hey,
Just make a decision earlier.
I haven't done this. I've done this for 5 years. I'm not very much further into it.
Yeah.
Don't set yourself up for failure, dog. You got a good thing going. Just let it end at that. Don't add something.
Yeah, I did think that was because we were done at that point. Like, it's just like, all right, let's call it square, run the whatever. And I did think that was
this
super
guy made
weird.
2 bad runs, right? Like the guy who was complaining made 2 bad runs.
Bro.
Did not get on the racetrack.
Drive your shit to Gulfport and make some more time runs.
Well, that's what I'd have done. Been there, done that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. But it probably would. Like, I'd made 2 bad runs too, not as bad as his. But I was kind of like, when they made the 3rd run, for my personal problems that I had, plus him, like, I'm sure he was saltier than the rest of us.
And that's what I'm saying. Here's my this is my
but
whole
that's
takeaway.
Your problem.
This is my whole takeaway. And this applies to everybody that's on Facebook right now. And I'm talking. You know who you are. Y'all got to get off the internet, dog.
Seriously,
I'm telling you, it is not. That's serious.
I don't. How many times do you have, like, there's a certain point I learned with my father. At some point, I'm better off to shut my damn mouth.
Yeah, man.
Because everything gonna go better for me. And it don't matter how long I argue with my father. Yeah. He ain't gonna tell me I'm right just because he's my father. And NHRA is your daddy, and they ain't gonna say they're wrong. So get over it.
Yeah, I felt like that. I just felt like it was a mistake on their part to make the call. And again, it doesn't matter. It impacted me. Yes, again, I was there racing in Superstock, so it does impact me directly. But it is what it is. And I just felt like, man, what a wild turn of events, just that whole thing. And like you said, I think what your point is that don't set yourself up for failure. Don't add something when you don't need it. Like, everybody's cool with 2. Let's just run. Cool. You know what I mean?
And that's, Walt said it something. The best thing about the conversation is they were not good at the beginning, but left with mutual respect. That's the whole point of, like, that is a win when you come to the tower.
This
and leave
is my exact point, dog. Have that. That's why he said, let's have this conversation in person. And this is why I think all these people complain, I can't believe we're not supporting our local racetrack. It's closing. Y'all are the same people on the internet complaining every week. Y'all aren't doing anything to make it better. And I am calling you out directly.
Oh, I trust you.
I've been there and I've done it. I've been a shithead in the lanes too. I'm still not welcome at Ohio Valley Dragway. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't for a few minutes there. Also, not that I don't like Chris Mattingly could take over and do everything he needs to do on his own. But part of the reason I took that job is because if we're going to keep local racetracks going, like, here's me doing my part. Okay? Yeah. Here's me keeping it alive.
I think so.
Those people, like, there's just guys that are gonna bitch and complain and not do anything about it.
Sure. Yeah, like, maybe he just needed to vent too. Maybe he just needed to vent, and I get that too.
Hey,
man.
That's cool too. Go to the tower.
Right.
Drive your shit up there and tell him.
That's where I just felt like, man, we gotta get off the internet, because I see a lot of people complaining on the internet, just constantly, like, on stuff that doesn't really impact them or have any impact on them as racers or whatever, and they're just constantly shitting on stuff, and I'm just like, man, this is draining, dog. Like, it's tough. Anyway, that was
Mason makes a good point there. Like, and like I said, I've Will Tharp, Division III, great guy. I've seen him deal with things in person. That does, and that's great. And D4, obviously, that dude right there. I mean, I think we both agree that he did some shit that I ain't never seen from an HRA, and I appreciate it. And it was awesome.
Same.
Rob Parks, who's not with, I guess he's not D5's guy anymore, but
he's now overall, like the head. He's above now of some stuff. Right?
Yeah, I dealt with him some. He was also one of those guys that I thought had good intentions for the racer. Yeah. I've not raced. Oh, Cody Savage is great. Yeah. I think he bothered some people at Gainesville a little bit, but Cody is doing a great job. He's got one of the biggest divisional nationals.
I also think it's just really hard to be a division director, like, to make certain. It's a lose-lose situation. You can't please 700 people. 700
You're a
racers. Guy
that gets shoved in a position just so they can't get to who they probably should talk to.
Yeah.
So you have to basically just tell a bunch of no's, because the guys above them are assholes.
Yeah.
Straight up. I hope one of you's watching. Everybody above a division director, you're an asshole.
You heard them. That's crazy. Yeah.
Not really above, but like at the top.
I know what you're.
Right?
Yeah. 100%.
They don't get it. They don't even know. Like, I bet you give them a time slip from stock, and Glenn Cromwell can't tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
That's a problem. But we'll get into that at a later date.
That's a song for another time. Walt, you are correct, man.
But like, I do appreciate the current division directors. I will say, from my time in the sport to being 10 years and with my dad, I do think there is a big change with those guys and what they do for racers. And
I just feel like they're invigorated, and it made a lot of sense. And all that to say, like I said, man, I'm not shitting on this guy. I don't know him personally or anything like that, but it just seemed like that was like, I don't know. It just didn't seem like it was super helpful. And then like he doubled down when they were like, "Hey, let's just talk about it in person," right?
Yeah,
No
that
one
was
really
that
wants.
was
So,
that was awesome.
so but yeah.
One thing before we switch,
Yeah.
this guy, I didn't even know, like, maybe this is the first episode he's watched. I don't know.
Sure.
But there's a guy in here that made a comment, Billy Carroll.
Yeah.
Billy Carroll works for like the group that is like Edelbrock and Comp Cams and
Sure.
all those. Billy is one of the best things for sportsman racing. Okay.
Was
Billy,
he the one walking around with the comp stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Shout out to Billy, man. Me and
Billy handles a lot of
Fazio
things.
talked about you.
Yes. But what he does, what I know that he does a lot is he handles all the contingency. Like
everybody getting paid on time. I love it.
Yes. I've forgotten about contingency, and Billy said, "Hey man, we got a couple races that we're behind on you with. Let's get them paid up." But we had a long talk at Belrose, and he does a really good job of making sure that the winners get paid and that the contingency is taken care of, and just a freaking awesome dude when it comes to that. Like, I've fought companies.
Oh yeah. I'm still waiting on my MSD check.
But he's amazing. You know, it just for the sport, and he's done a lot of other great things, but like that is the just one thing that points out to me. And Billy's awesome. He helps us out a lot, all racers, and appreciate. He was at the race, right?
That's what I was saying. They were walking around talking to people, man,
the
getting
whole
chatted
time.
up. So
they didn't leave early.
Yeah.
He was in my winner's circle on Sunday, I think. Like they didn't leave. He was there from Wednesday on. Just super cool. And when I saw him in there, I had to shout him out because
thank you.
Pretty cool.
No, I'm glad you did. And Devin, we're gonna put a button on this. Devin, yes, I 100% would go back,
sure.
dude. It is well worth the trip. I did have to stay on the other side of the channel, so I had to take the big bridge every day to the hotel. But there's also the gas stations. If you think like, oh, I'll get the next one, nah, dog, there ain't no next one. And this is like an oil filled. I assume that's what they do down there, oil riggers. But
I looked it up. It's nitrogen. Like it's nitrogen,
okay.
and
it looks like a little town kind of thing.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Yeah, but I think that it's like a power plant, and they use like nitrogen and other shit to do it.
It was pretty cool. So Devin, yes, I would go back. I hope that they have it every year. It's a great chance for us, especially it's 8 hours for me and some change, 600 miles more or less. If I had a truck that could tow faster than 65 mile an hour, I'd have been there in 8 hours. But no, I would definitely go back. So, all right, man, we talked. That was when we're there for 5 days. We were there a long time.
We could have kept going for sure. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. And shout out to everybody watching. Yeah, that's the hospitality.
I went into that big shop at the gate entrance.
Yeah.
That's Steve Kent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's his.
Walt,
sick.
Walt took me over and introduced me to Steve, and then walked me through his place.
Yeah,
Steve's like a big hunter, right? Like he goes overseas and hunts. This dude got a zoo in his living room that he's killed. I'm talking.
Wow.
There, when you walk in the door and look up, freaking 20-foot alligator just right there, and then like every animal you can think. Badass place for sure.
Yeah, he was. He's also got a fast ass Hemi for those wondering. Shout out to Steve and Billy. Thank you. That 3 mile walk. I know that's exactly it, dog. It is a haul back there, and then it's curved, right? They're like, oh, you could take this. The straight lane is a dirt road, or you could take the road course to the pits.
I'm not driving to the dirt. So
crazy. All right, man. Well, that was great. Yeah, we talked a lot about it. We've got some other stuff we're gonna talk about.
Oh yeah, I can bring up the next topic. I'm ready for it.
Hammer it.
Next
down,
topic,
baby.
Boys and girls. The IHRA. What are they doing? They're buying tracks. Okay, get all these tracks getting their panties in the wad. Kiss my ass. You're not turning down the money they're offering you. So shut up.
Oh,
straight up, shut up.
Okay, let's go.
You might be getting a little upset that you ain't got paid yet or that it's not finalized, but don't tell me you're turning down the money. Okay, I can tell you right now, somebody that runs the racetrack, ain't nobody going to turn down the kind of money. Nobody's coming to buy racetracks. So if you can get out, they're going to get out.
Yeah.
So stop acting like you're not.
I do think that's the thing, right? I think that there was probably some miscommunication. I think this goes back to the internet thing, right? It's like y'all got to get off the internet,
them in trouble.
dog. Everybody's got to get off the people. And then I get it, man. 00 shit show ain't never missed. Them guys are on. Look, there's a thing in professional wrestling.
It was great. Yeah.
There's an account in professional wrestling, TNA. Anytime a wrestler does anything else in another company and they have wrestled in TNA, TNA will post it as it happens. It's like that guy, whoever runs the TNA page, is watching.
Nail it. Yeah.
It's the same with 00 shit show. It's like he's watching everything. He's like, I've got this meme ready for whatever's happening next.
Yeah.
And I get it, man.
He nails like the meme though. Like it's perfect.
I know.
Like the videos that he chooses, it's like you couldn't hit it better.
That's where I just feel like everybody else, though, is like, man, quick to jump to, and everybody's quick to have an opinion, and I get it. And they've been through, IHRA previous ownership has done a lot of, ever since Bader hasn't owned it, it's been bad. Y'all aren't telling us anything we don't already know.
And listen, this could go down as the worst thing ever to happen to racing. Okay,
Sure.
like it could.
It could.
But give them the benefit of the damn doubt.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Like I can promise you that the money that's behind this thing is real.
Yeah, we're not talking about
Real.
racing performance money. We're talking
Nah,
about
hell no.
we're talking about an actual company money.
Yeah,
like
this is real money.
like big. No, I'm not. No, you know what I'm saying.
This
Like,
dude don't run out of money.
right. So I think
So-
that is.
Yeah. Just I can like if he has an ego, just the fact that they posted something, he'll ruin it for all of us.
Yeah.
You know.
I do think that's the thing is like if no one's gonna give somebody the benefit of the doubt, why would he even spend? That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, I want to buy your business, and then the first thing someone says is shitting on it. You're like, wait, maybe I don't want to buy this business. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
It's
I think
hard
like,
because
let's maybe let it marinate a little bit. It also doesn't impact anybody right now. That's my thing. Everyone's like, oh, I can't plan for an August race right now if you don't announce it. Bruh, if you got to call your boss right now to get August off, you in the wrong company, homie. Your
Well,
manager.
especially in this day and age, right? Like we're finally getting to the point where people realize, like, if I don't want to show up to work, you know, what are you going to do about it? Because
Right.
we don't have enough people. So, like,
Sure.
what you're saying, basically, I'm not saying it's right,
No, I get it.
but if you don't want to
100%,
be
I
there,
get it.
they ain't going to fire you, dog. Ain't nobody in the world going to fire you.
So
if
I
you're not
think
showing up
that's
to
the
work.
thing is everybody's got to just. So what you're saying too, and again, I don't have any inside insight. I have some background news of things, but I don't think. I just think everybody's got to let it play out a little bit longer. I
Yeah.
do think the one thing I probably, if I was IHRA, is I wouldn't try to cram 3 years. Jeb put it perfectly. Don't try to cram 3 years of shit in 3 months.
Yeah, that's definitely like it's definitely pushed, and I think, but I will say, I think that's some Kenny shit that they're
Sure.
having to, you know, pick up the
Clean
pieces
up.
and pull through on promises, right? Kenny promised it. Now we got rid of
Hey,
him.
shout out to Kenny
we gotta
suing
go
Larry Jeffers. It just gets wilder, and I think that's the problem, right? Is when you buy something, you have to spend all this time like revamping it to your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When they bought Bader's deal, Bader, it was a thing. Now it's like we're buying this legacy.
Right.
You
That
know,
is-
like-
and we're getting to the point where the legacy ain't as good as it used to be because we've had enough time of dog shit.
Yeah, since 06, right? I mean, isn't that when Bader
Yeah.
got out, or 08 or whatever?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my family was out of it by then. And then
Sure.
by the time I got racing, IHRA was basically
Yeah.
gone. I tried to support it, but, you know, so I don't know a ton, but, you know,
I
I
will
do know that like what they said was real.
Yeah.
Okay. These tracks aren't finalized purchase deals,
Sure.
you know. I like the double at Columbus thing. I did get a little insight on that. If they do, you know, if everything does go through, which it's gonna go through.
Sure.
That they do have other things they've already worked out to try to, you know, that race is gonna get taken somewhere else
Sure.
or split up. You're still gonna get those races
Sure.
as NHRA.
Yeah, I mean,
Division 2
NHRA
guys.
ain't gonna miss out on that divisional for sure.
Yeah, so all that's gonna happen, but like it just pissed me off. You know, make the jokes, that's fine, but like these tracks saying anything at all.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
why? If they're
Yeah.
saying they bought you, hell yeah, that means they got to sign the papers because they done told the world. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, that part of
Like-
it, I didn't understand a lot. I did love the first thing though, is right. Like Darlington was like, we're not a part of it, and the next thing you know, old boy showed up, and Jeff and Bear are in the picture, and I was like, hell yeah, Bear. Because Bear, every time I see something that Bear posts, I always laugh. He's super funny dude. I don't know, man. Like I said, I think
Maryland was the big one for me because like they made a real stink about it. Like, and I'm getting texts about Maryland.
Maryland's gonna be Maryland though.
Yeah,
They,
you know, and I'm
they've
like,
always and they're look. Budds Creek has been. I remember playing on Budds Creek on Burnout on the PC. So like, I get it. They are a staple for sure. And I get that they want their fans to. They're holding up their piece too, where it's like, hey man, our racers want to know, and I get that. I think, but
Yeah.
like I said, I think we gotta let it marinate just a little bit longer, and let's try to figure that out first. I don't know, man.
IHRA is pushing as much as they can to get their info out so that the races that they already have planned for this
Yeah.
year because of some other asshole that put it out there. Like
Yeah.
it's business. You know,
Sure.
stuff's way too fast. People are trying to do the best they can.
Yep.
Stuff gets posted. It upsets you. I understand that, but you're also looking at, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to assume, not that I'm an appraiser of racetracks, but I'm going to assume that's a $15 to $20 million purchase.
Man, you're talking about 7 of them.
Right. So, well, just the one racetrack, right? Like Maryland's going to be a 15 to 20
That's what
million
I'm
dollar.
saying. So if you look at the others, like they're probably in a similar ballpark. So let's call it 75 million.
Right. So it's just hard, like
Bro, I haven't
I'm
seen
not
75
posting
million.
on Facebook that somebody, you know what I mean? Like, damn, dog.
Yeah.
That's ballsy. What if he just called you back? Because once again, this guy has so much money that he can tell anybody in the world he wants to kiss his ass.
Sure.
And like, you just lost $20 million.
I'm sorry. Edgewater may get the divisional. We got a better chance of seeing Tyler dunk a basketball than Edgewater getting a divisional.
Yes. If they would do the thing, like when I raced that, when he first took over after the old man died, we had a talk, and he had talked to NHRA about the changes that they had to make to get back to that level of facility.
Sure.
And it wasn't that far off. I mean, look at the places we race. Edgewater needs a few safety features and a little here and there, and like, fuck the pits, right? We race it.
Yeah, we race it some dogs.
Right? So, like, they're not that far off, but they ain't done it.
Sure.
Got to do it.
Yeah.
I can tell you where we are doing it right now. US 60 Dragway, come on, keep up. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that's one thing I like my job for.
I'm here to tell you, they ain't scared to spend it. I think that's the thing is the one last thing on the IHRA guy, too, and this is very similar to Chris, is like, when have you seen money invested into our sport?
You have to.
There's just that just doesn't exist right now because drag racing especially, man. Like I've said this about NASCAR. NASCAR is doing close to 5 mil a week episodes. Okay, drag racing is a fifth of that. Think about that. They're a fifth of that. We are such a niche thing.
Shabs posted something a few months ago that was like the Fox or NBC or what Fox viewership of like what their biggest 50 events were.
Yeah,
I think the U.S. Nationals made it on there.
Okay,
like in the top 15
had like
or whatever.
1.5 or 2 million or something.
Yeah, like I think it barely clipped 1 million.
So,
but and I don't want to lie about any of that, but like NHRA had one event in there, or 2 events in the top 50, and
so it's good to see this money. That's my point. Is that it's good to see this new money come in to try to reinvigorate. Make it bigger. It's not reinvigorate. Our business is good. Racing is good, right? Yes, small tracks are closing. Yes, these places they weren't updated. It's like a dilapidated house. They had to tear it down and do something. I get it, but like it's good to see this. So I would love to see it marinate. I hope something happens. We'll see.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
There.
IHRA.
It's there.
Yeah.
I think just from what I've seen with Chris and us and what we're doing at US 60, like if you invest the money, it's going to work. Like
I think so too.
As a customer,
yeah,
I'm not. It's just like anything else as a customer. If I didn't love the product and you did nothing, you didn't invest anything into it, then you're not going to see any return. That's been the NHRA. Okay?
I think they think it's a captive audience. 1,00000%. It's a captive audience. Yeah.
I'm on the internet right now, and they see that millions of dollars are getting spent. Not thousands, millions of dollars are getting spent every year, and
might want to tighten that belt buckle, dog.
Yeah, let's keep rocking with these guys. They're putting money into a facility, and I don't. A racetrack makes money when you show up, so I'm only doing this to better your experience, and that's what IHRA is doing.
Yeah,
competition is what drives markets, and the reason that drag racing isn't going anywhere is there is no competition. A guy, Peter Biondo, me, those guys aren't competitors of the NHRA. Yeah. But this could be, and it could make drag racing really good.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. More to come, obviously, as the stories come out. I know that Competition Plus just posted one, too, with Christian Bird. I haven't got a chance to read it yet, so I won't comment on it. But all that to say, IHRA. All right, next here. How about the big day today? This won't take too long. But TB Promotions, the Twin 50s pre-entry has opened today. I think we're maybe 40 entries left, 50 entries left. I saw Brian posted it. I apologize. I haven't seen it. So I think that's what it was. 40 to 50 entries left.
50 or 55. It was a great day. Really appreciate everybody coming in, entering, supporting. Brett Spear and Riley texted me today. They're coming back this year to run No Box.
That's awesome.
Former winner of No Box for us. And, just looking forward to it. I know if a lot of NHRA guys probably are watching this. If you're looking for a reason to stay after the D5 double at St. Louis, we've got a brand new car and 250 granders. So, look at Jeb. God, I love Jeb. Less than 40 left now.
Less than 40 remain. See, this is why we love Jeb. Man, it is the Larice Motorsports Insurance Twin 50s TB Promotions at St. Louis Worldwide Technology Raceway Park, May 8th through the 10th. You still get to make it home for Mom's Day. it's going to be a time, man. We got Manhattan Auto Collisions 50K on Friday. We got the Moser Engineering 50K on Saturday. We got the Folk Race Cars on Sunday. I'm going to be doing,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Thursday. What did I say? Sunday? Thursday.
Yeah. We got to make it home from Mom's Day, bro.
I got caught up in my read. But yeah, man, I'm excited about it. Obviously, that's our first of the TB races this year. Besides, we're going to kick it off with Verge, which we're very excited about. But from a TB bracket racing perspective, yeah, we're excited.
Seven races in one tow, actually. Jeb's right. So, and I haven't even put this out there yet, but if in case nobody looks at a fucking calendar, you can. I think Verge is the following weekend, so I might have just made myself look stupid if it's not. But
it is.
I think it's 7 races in one tow.
It is.
D5 double, TB, and Verge.
So Wes Collins texted me, man, and he perfect example. You don't have to leave St. Louis to race for like $150,000 yourself, not $150 in. I saw everybody bitching about that on NHRA. This is $150 in cash, dog. You don't have to leave the gate. You can stay for the double. You can stay for the TB race. Then you can stay for the Verge race. If you are if you run Super Comp, and you do not enter these 3 weeks, you should sell your race car. That's what I'm going to say. You should sell it.
And like, I get it. There's a lot of, that's time off and stuff.
No,
so like,
I get it. It's a lot of racing.
Two, I don't, if you don't stay for 2, that's just dumb. But like, it is like, especially, listen, you want to know the ones I'm going to get on? The people like me, the racers. I race, right? This is what I do. Then you should have a fucking house in St. Louis, Missouri right now.
Yeah, Wes texted me. I was like, hey, man, I think we could probably do that. Let's buy a few row houses in East St. Louis, because we're going to have to clean up the neighborhood. It's a little rough for us.
It is a little
rough, dog. And we could buy a bunch of little houses there for everybody, park our stuff there. And there's a bunch of races there this year. So, yeah, man, 7 races in one tow is wild. You just don't get that. Adam
made a good one there, for sure. Good job, Adam. But I'm going to see what I can do to try to be there for you guys also, side note. But Adams and Jeb are both a part of that deal going on at Coles County, so that'll be a cool deal. Them and Jesse Fritz got a race going on over there at Coles County,
sick. Okay.
Memorial race. So y'all check that out for sure. Got some kids, so, I mean, it's Jeb and Adam and Jesse, and there's a couple other people involved, but that's kids, that are trying to do something in the sport. And that's cool.
Shout out to Redman. Redman's gonna be
about it.
Hey, Redman, you gonna come park me or what? What's the deal? Last year parking, right? I pulled in. Shout out to Redman. They were disheveled. There were so many cars trying to park for the double in October. Meanwhile, I'm just like, oh, that's cool, man. Kenny and Terry got me a spot, dog. I'm not worried about it. It's all good. Just tell me where to go. That's good stuff. All right. Well, yeah, man. TB pre-entry, racederbycity.com. If you haven't pre-entered yet, $199 down. Pay the rest at the gate. We'd love to see racederbycity.com. Big race happened also last weekend just north of us from where we were in Belrose in Gulfport, Mississippi. Josh Green went up, cleaned house.
Bad dude. I've been waiting on him.
I saw Luke Bogalak won too, but Josh Green was out there handling business. I don't know how many runs he made, but I'm assuming it was a lot. There was a lot of guys doubled. I saw the last ladder thing I saw, or maybe a pick'em or something. There was a lot of cars doubled at like 15. He wasn't one of them, and he cleaned everybody out.
Yeah, I mean, he ran Nick in the final. Nick was doubled at 15, I think, is what they said.
Yeah.
And, he won 225 granders off the foot brake, and I've always thought Josh Green was one of the baddest feet swapping guys in the country. He's got kids that he worries about, right?
Sure.
And takes them racing, and Josh kind of like took a little seat back. When I first started, like when I was going to Clarksville to run for $5,000 when I was 14 and 15, and Josh was there beating the shit out of everybody, and he comes from an area where you've got to be a bad dude at swapping feet to be good at it, and
for sure.
Now he's been doing it this long, and it's really good to see him racing in general, and going to Gulfport. And I saw him in Florida when we were down there, and I'm not surprised. It's what I guess what I'm saying.
It was really great, man. He's got awesome cars too. If y'all haven't seen his collection of shit, dude,
he got some sweet shit.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, Josh Green got it done. He won both 25s. So there was a lot of hitters there. Like I said, a lot. And shout out to them getting it done, because I think a lot of people were like, "It's going to storm here." I didn't even think they were going to get it done.
And Gulfport's another one of those tracks I know we didn't even mention, but when we talk about the IHRA or US 60, it's working for them. And what are they doing? Investing into it.
Yeah, Galen and team down there, Britt and everybody. I mean, they make that place go. I haven't got to make it down there, but everything I see online is always cool. Like everybody's like having a good time. They're having cool races. I think Josh Green even's got an Airbnb down there if y'all want to use it.
He does. He
Yeah.
sent it to me, and it's a nice little pad.
Yeah.
Like, and Gulfport's that I didn't know this about Gulfport until Britt bought it. Me and Britt talked, and Josh. Like, that's a town, all right? Y'all can go have some fun. Bring your families. It's a good time. They got
It's on the
casinos
beach, right?
closed. The beach is there.
Yeah.
You know, that's a destination racetrack.
Yeah, very cool. So I think that was cool, man. Yeah, the Gulfport. Who puts on the Footbrake 150? Is it a Gulfport deal?
That might be. I got the Galen and Britt thing. So Galen's has his races, and then him and Britt have theirs, and then Gulfport is obviously still them together. I would say that a lot of that stuff at Gulfport is probably the track now, but it's still Britt and Galen or whatever.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so Footbrake 150. I think Luke Bogacki won on Friday too. If I saw something, or I don't know.
I did not see Friday.
Yeah, I think someone won. I know he put something on there, so I thought maybe that was it. But yeah, man, Gulfport Footbrake 150. Well, we made it through the headlines. We had a lot of information to the headlines last week. Like I said, 2 weeks of racing, and we had 5 days in Belrose. So, all right, couple more things. What about the combo of the week? What do you got?
So the combo of the week is actually a car. It's not really a combo, but Competition Plus has an article. If you've never seen it, it's amazing. Tells the whole story. And yes, it ran modified and then comp eliminator for a little bit. But the Wayne County Opal, Larry Kopp and Todd Patterson drove it last, I think, before it kind of left the comp eliminator scene. But that Competition Plus article on it's really cool. I'm sure PJ can put it in the notes or something.
I'll add it to the thing. It's a pretty interesting. Interesting read.
It is. You know, I've got it pulled up here right now. I won't read through the whole thing or whatnot, but it was, you know, built in the 70s and basically ran the table and modified. And when Todd drove it in comp, it was badass too. It actually, when NHRA, the year the NHRA started checking, they had the ability to check thickness on roll bars and started having chassis certifications and comp and all that. It got tossed on the first race. Part of the reason the car was so light is there was one bar in the whole fucking thing that passed. Like, incredible. You know, but the car, it's got an incredible history. Nobody knows where it's at right now, to my knowledge. But part of, like, my dad's a big Opel guy. His first car that he ever drove was an Opel. And just badass cars. That thing is legendary and modified and comp, that style of racing. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out.
Yeah, very. It's a cool article. We're gonna hope to get maybe Patterson on the call, and we can chat with him about his time over there with the with that powerhouse of a modified into comp.
He ran Bohannon altered with it. It was like a 300-inch motor. And they were fast. It was definitely cool.
Yeah, comp was something really cool to see this past weekend too in Belrose. I got to watch some of those guys work on that stuff and then see some cool combos and different stuff. It was interesting take D4 because they're very serious about roof tech and that whole thing. So comp, we're gonna get into it some more. So shout out to the combo of the week. All right. We're gonna skip that next part because I think we've talked a lot about my most. We're gonna save that for another time.
Yeah.
Let's look ahead to what's next. We got the AZ Nationals this weekend in Arizona, bringing NHRA back. I saw that they had it's so funny, man. Shout out to Sean Langdon because the graphic NHRA posted today is Sean Langdon looking like he looks kind of like the Wally guy. And then they've got Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart gets to look cool as shit. He's got like sunglasses on, his hair's slicked back. I'm like, damn, this is not fair for Sean right here. What are they doing here?
I feel Sean's pain. Okay, my lovely friends. I'm gonna bring it up. My lovely friends at Fuel Factory, right?
Yeah.
They've been posting these bangers for like Zach Fulcher and all these boys, right? And then I'm like, man, got pissed off.
Oh God, I wanted to have the pictures ready, and I just got behind today. Like I was going to have because it's one of my top 5 terrible Tyler picture. Is that one.
I love all those guys. Hey, Fuel Factory. Hey, I love them. But it was just funny, like when they posted Zach Fulcher's thing, right? Which Zach gets it, right?
Yeah,
Zach's got
he gets
people
it.
there.
Shout
like,
out to EDR Motorsports.
So he sets himself up for these great graphics. But I'm like, damn, that's cool. I wanted mine to be that cool. And then I look at him like. Fuck.
Hey, it looked like me in my side profile from my GoPro in the car. I look like I'm like 280 pounds. I'm balding everywhere. I was like, this is a terrible. I was like, I gotta change where I put my GoPro. This is not
Yeah,
good.
damn, dog. They got me good on that one.
That's yeah. But shout out to Tyler. Let's look ahead to that. Let's talk about that first, man. Fuel Factory, obviously coming on board this year. You've been a partner with. I mean, you've been using their fuel. I obviously use their fuel. Me and Mark go way back. Mark was the first guy to put me on from a sponsorship perspective. And it was really cool, man. And so to see him work with Fuel Factory, to be a part of that, such a huge part of that with the Tedesco family. This is not,
that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like the part that I love about it, and this is different this year. Like this is my third year that I've actually, I guess, been partnered with Fuel Factory in a way. But it's a family that races, right? You know, it's all people that have been around this, actually embedded into drag racing. They know what we're looking for. They know how we want it to be. You know, they know what we want to see. They know how they can help us help them.
Yeah, 1,000%.
So, you know, they just make it easy, you know, and that's really cool. And then the product they're given, it's badass.
Yeah.
I've had, you know, a lot of great things to say about it myself. We've got a lot of guys on it in stock and super stock.
Yep.
Seeing some great things from them, and really excited for more of that. I'm a big fan. I don't have any intentions of ever changing again. And you know, I don't think they do either. I got to ride in the taxi at PRI. Me and Mr. T were on the same flight, and we got a taxi together. And you know, just awesome people, like I said, that come from racing, understand it, and you know, they don't put unreal expectations on guys like me. Yeah, and that's cool. You know, like they understand what's going on.
Dude, 1,000%. I think they're just a great. It's good to have them in sport too. It's good to have another option, right? We got now Sunoco and VP and Renegade and Fuel Factory, and I'm a Fuel Factory user as well. Like I said, I know me and Mark go way back, and I like it. That's why I continue to buy it. And so I think I'm excited to see where that goes for you. Hopefully, continue to progress with that. All right, back to the AZ Nationals. Sorry, I didn't want to skip over that. I didn't want to skip over that. Arizona Spring Nationals are this weekend.
You brought it up, and I will say this about Langdon. I know his PR people, and I mean I know Langdon too. Yeah. Like he don't make himself easy. Okay, Sean, you could be a little easier.
He looks like he's like. They show a side profile, right? But like Tony Stewart's got sunglasses on. He looked cool as shit. I was like, all right, bro, I get it now. Okay, we're on it. So that was cool. Yeah, man, this is obviously second national event of the year for the guys. Who you picking in Top Fuel?
Oh, I'm gonna ride the Sean train. It's coming. He's got a really good race car off of last year. He's got something to prove, even though he swears he'll never have nothing to prove. Sure, but he does, and he wants it. And I think his team's there. And he's been, like I said, he's been close the last couple times. He's going to close.
Okay. What about? I guess for me, for that, I'm going to go Antron again, man. Shout out to Antron, by the way, showing up everywhere. My guy is all over my feed now. He was with WWE superstar Chelsea Green at the Pennzoil 400 in Vegas. He's showing up all over my team. He was also at Belle Rose at one point. I saw him with Angel Sampé. They were driving. You know,
oh yeah, I did see him.
So I was like, he's everywhere. So shout out to Antron and team. I'm going to go Antron again. All right, what about Top Fuel funny car?
I'm not leaving Austin Prock train until something happens to it.
Okay. I'm gonna mix it up, man. I'm gonna go Wilkerson. He had a terrible first race, and I think that he was excitable. I think that they're gonna get around, so I'm gonna think he's gonna steal.
They've got the right stuff, and they've got the right people, and I really do like. I mean, it's been a few years. I know they probably haven't had the results they're looking for, but they're going to. Like I said, all the pieces are there. They're just got to put them together.
Yeah, I think they're gonna steal one this weekend. All right, and then Pro Stock.
That's kind of a tough one. The KB guys seem to be running the table right now.
Tough sledding out there.
Yeah, I think you ride that train right now. And I'm going to go with Dallas Glenn. He's a better driver.
Yeah, 1,000%.
You know, he's the best driver that they got.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. So. I'm going to go Jeggy this time. I think Jeggy is he's a big Arizona guy. We talked about him winning out there a lot, so I'm going to pick Jeggy on that one. We'll see what happens. I don't know who's – we're not going to pick stock and super stock and all this because I don't know who's entered yet. Well, I just assume – I'm going to be honest. Justin Lamb's going to win one of them.
McClanahan, Lamb. I think you're about to go. Yeah, you're about to go on this big West Coast swing, and those guys are going to shine.
Yeah.
The Rizzolis, the McClanahans, the Lambs, the DeFranks. Yeah. You know, the Lang. You know,
I don't
Jody
think there's
Lang
been a national event in the last like 10 years that Lamb hasn't won one of the classes at Arizona, right?
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I just feel like every year I
I
see
know
them
Vegas
posting,
is
it's
about
like,
that
another
way.
one. So,
Yeah. But that's the deal, right? Like we got to see what happens at
hey,
the end
all
of
I know
April. One of
is
those guys is
they're
going to take off.
all chasing Tyler Bohannon.
Hey,
Right
they
now.
are right now. Now it's going to take them about 2 weeks to pass me, but
They're all chasing
yeah,
LaBoose and they're all chasing Tebow.
I like it.
All right, and then we got bracket races coming up here in the next couple weeks. Obviously, we're getting ready to get into it. We got 10 Tucks next weekend. I think they also have the Cap City deal in Alabama next weekend.
Flicker.
There's a bunch of stuff going on, man. Are
badass,
you gonna take the dragster out for a little bracket racing or what?
I am. I'm going to the 10 Tuck. I really want to go to Montgomery. I got too much going on at the racetrack right now.
Yeah.
Just getting back after my hiatus. He'll probably be pissed that I'm going anywhere at all. But me and Mikey Maddie, we're teaming and we're going to Bowling Green to run the 10 Tucks.
I can't wait. 10 Tucks next weekend. We're excitable. Hopefully my car will be back together. I got a few more things to finish on my bracket car, but I should be ready to test soon. I'm gonna try to get Tyler to sponsor me some tires because I'm broke. Because I had to stop for gas every 2 hours. I had to stop for gas, so I'm broke. All right, last thing. It is March Madness. Brackets come out. The game is happening right now. The play-in games. Who are you picking to win the Natty, Tyler?
Dog, I don't pay enough attention to college basketball, but I mean, if I say anything other than UK, I'm gonna get out of my grandmother's will. So I mean, and I got money on it. I put money on them to win 6 months ago because of the odds.
Like, this guy doesn't pay attention. So he's just gonna make it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I didn't put much money on it, but it's like it pays back $3,000 if they win. So I'm gonna ride my horse.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pick Michigan out of my heart.
Oh Jesus! I'm glad that I picked UK now because I knew you.
First off, we're a 5 seed. We just won the Big Ten. I don't want to hear dick all from you, buddy. Okay, I watch college basketball. I don't know about you. Anyways, but I'm gonna pick Michigan with my heart, but with my brain, I did pick Duke in both of my brackets. I think.
God, you're even.
Cooper Flagg's the best basketball player in the country. I don't know what to tell you, homie. Like,
I don't know what my dad said. If Louisville and Duke play, you know what the best thing that could happen to the game?
They both lose.
No, bomb right on the middle of the court, blow the whole place.
Hey, I'll tell you the Louisville thing. You want to talk about utter disrespect? Not that this matters about racing, but utter disrespect. Is Louisville. They got an 8 seed after runner-up in the ACC with their record. I
did read into that a little bit. Apparently their non-conference schedule was kind of ass.
Doesn't matter,
and,
dog.
And I don't care. You know what I do care about? Slick Rick, okay? Slick Rick.
Which one, Slick Rick?
Patino, St. John's.
I thought you were
doesn't matter where he comes from.
I was like, did Rick Bear show up?
Oh, God, I forgot you said Michigan, so now we got
I was like, did I get worried?
Whoa.
Did Rick Bear show up?
Whoa.
Hey, Patino got that sauce, dog. We'll see. All right, Megan picking St. John's. Jack he's picking Houston. Cooper's barely hurt. Relax, bro. He'll be fine. Okay. They also have like 12 other guys
or something.
Good stuff. I love it. Well, anyways, thanks everybody for joining, man. We had a wild week. We're happy to be back. We'll be back next week as well on Tuesdays. You know where to find us here. Again, if you're watching live on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't, it's super easy. Helps us out. And it allows you to get notifications of the show when things are happening. We've got interviews that were supposed to happen that will be happening. I promise we're going to get to that point. So if you are tuning in because you want to see interviews with guys, we're getting to it. We promise a lot of things working out around those things. So thanks everybody for joining here. The BE00TAKE00 show. I am PJ North. This is the better host, Tyler.